CGT reform, the housing fix that probably won't fix anything. That's right guys, they're dangling a housing fix in front of you again.
Treasurers leaving the door open to winding back the 50% capital gains tax discount for property investors.
Any further changes to taxes beyond those which we've already flagged would be a matter for Cabinet in the usual way.
It doesn't surprise me.
And like every season of The Bachelor, everyone's emotionally invested before reading the contract. The mobs out there are saying cut the GST discount, punish the investors, prices will finally fall. Yeah, cool story, but here's the uncomfortable truth. If this reform actually did what people hope it will, half the country would riot before it ever took effect. Because Australian housing isn't just shelter. It's retirement plans, it's family wealth, and it's political survival. And right now, guys, most people are arguing about CGT, but they don't even know what CGT even stands for, those bloody noobs. So guys, before you panic, or before you celebrate, and before you delay buying property for another 3 years, let's slow down, let's define it properly, then we'll look at the data, and after that, we'll look at the behavior, and most importantly, what you're after, we'll bloody roast it. This is what we're unpacking today. Today, we're breaking down what capital gains tax actually is. And I'm going to go noob mode because I know there's a lot of noobs out there who don't know what that CGT even means. We're going to also look at why the 50% discount exists, what the reform is realistically proposing, and what locking in old rules means. Then in the video, we're going to look at how the prices will fall if the effect took into action. We're going to look at data versus vibes, and why this might just be speculative theater. And finally, how to position yourself intelligently, because as of this week and this month, I have had multiple clients call me this week saying, Q, should we wait? I'm scared of this reform. And you know what that tells me? It tells me that fear is spreading faster than facts. So yeah, guys, I hope you're ready. Let's get clinical. In the first part of the video, we're going to talk about what is CGT. And / this is on beginner's mode. Now, CGT stands for capital gains tax. And don't worry guys, you do not need to pay it every year. You only pay it when you sell an investment asset for profit. Now let's run clean numbers so I can show you what I'm talking about. For example, you buy an investment property for $600,000. And I know it's probably a shoebox in Sydney, but let's just play with this number. Say 10 years later, you sell it for $900,000. Now you do the simple maths. You sold it for $900,000, you bought it for $600,000. The capital gain is $300,000. Now here's the part most people don't know. If you held the asset longer than 12 months, you only get taxed on 50% of that gain. So instead of adding $300,000 to your taxable income, which is your PSI, your personal service income, you only add $150,000. Now in effect, that's the CGT discount. And ladies and gentlemen, that's what's under review right now. Now, the next segment of this video, I'm going to talk about why does this discount even exist? Because I'm telling you right now, guys, this was invented randomly. Back before 1999, Australia used inflation indexing. Then it shifted to a flat 50% discount. And this is the logic, guys. Part of your gain is inflation and actually not real profit. So the capital gains were kind of lumpy. For example, one big spike after years of holding, and then you get taxed on the full nominal gain. And in effect, a long-term holder, for example, an investor, could get totally smashed in a higher tax bracket in one hit. Now, from that point of view, that's the textbook logic. And if you're looking back on how the OGs came out with this discount, it's kind of not stupid. So then they did this blanket rule. They gave everyone a flat 50% discount. And in effect, this blunt policy tends to favor those holding appreciating assets. So right now in the second part of this video, if you understand CGT, and hopefully you do because I gave you a noob explanation, we're going to talk about what reform is actually being floated. And yes, I'll turn the maths into noob level so you guys can also follow along. So right now, guys, what's been discussed includes reducing the discount from 50% to 25% and possibly targeting housing investors specifically. And they're possibly looking at replacing with inflation indexing again, but they're not likely to apply it retrospectively. Now, right now, you have no bloody idea what I just said. Let's do the noob maths. Let me give you a step-by-step example showing you the difference of a 50% discount versus a 25%, which is the floated proposed discount at the moment. So again, assume you bought an investment property for $600,000 and you sell it for $900,000. And again, you held it for more than 12 months. And you must be scratching your head and going, Q, why do you keep saying, oh, you have to hold it for more than 12 months? Because any investment property that you purchased, if you sold it within 12 months, there is no bloody discount. you have to hold it for more than 12 months. Again, guys, let's go back to the example. Your capital gain, if you sold it for $900,000 and you bought it for $600,000, $900,000 minus $600,000 equals $300,000. Now, under the 50% discount on capital gains, $300,000 times the discounted portion, which is 50%, the taxable capital gain is $150,000. And that $150,000 is added to your taxable income for the current year, or whatever financial year that you sold it in. Then obviously at the end of the financial year, when you do your tax returns, you get your gross taxable income, either from PAYG income or self-employed income, plus the capital gains tax, which is already discounted. And then you get your accountant to apply your marginal tax rate. You could be on 38% or you could be on 45 to 47%. And then you pay the bloody tax to the you-know-who. However, guys, if the discount becomes 25%, this is what it looks like. For example, again, you sold it for $900,000. You bought it for $600,000. The capital gain is $300,000. Now, the discounted portion floated around by the mobs in Canberra at the moment, with a 25% discount, it means out of the $300,000, 75% will be taxed. That's correct, guys. So when you get $300,000 times 75%, that will equal $225,000. And like the previous example, this $225,000 now will be added to your taxable income for the current financial year. And obviously, and again, you pay the mobs in Canberra that are wearing the clown suits. So right now in this example, here comes the punchline. And in plain English, you went from 50% discount to 25% discount. What that means is the taxable gain goes from $150,000 to $225,000. And in effect, that's $75,000 more in the clown suits' pockets. And thus, to wrap it up, that is why there's so much fuss by investors out there who's watching this policy proposal closely. And also on a second layer, there's this retrospective big fear that clients have at the moment is that they're asking me, hey Q, are they going to apply this bloody dumb policy to properties that I already own? Now, let me tell you guys. Historically, just to give you guys a bit of peace of mind, these kind of big CG policy shifts in Australia, they haven't been retrospective. And I've read some recent commentary online, and from different sources, it has suggested there isn't much appetite to do any of that retrospecting. Because as you know, me and you who own property right now, if that policy was then retrospective to all the properties that we had, we will go absolutely bloody feral. Like I'm telling you right now, I'll be on the phone. Hello, 5T? Yeah, 5T? I've got some targets for you. So yeah, guys, jokes aside, the most realistic version is it applies from a future date. We don't know what that bloody future date is, and it's not going to be bloody this year. So right now, guys, if you watch that far and you kind of understand the maths, here's the real question. If this changes, does it actually help renters? Because that's why the mobs are pushing for this, right? It will help the renters. It will ease affordability. Or does it really, if you look deep enough, does it just change investor behavior? Because you know what? Investors like us, we're not dumb. Because I'm telling you right now, guys, the property market, this capitalist system that we live in, it doesn't respond well to morality or ethics, right? Or being nice to the bloody renters. It only responds to incentives. And that's why in this third section of this video, we're going to look at what locking in the old rules actually means. For example, here's a client case study. I have Aaron, a 34-year-old IT analyst. Again, he found me through social media, booked a call, and we had a chat. Right off the bat, I'm not lying, straight off the bat, he called me up and said, hey Q, should I buy now to lock in the 50% discount? And I've been noticing from the last few weeks of calls that's been coming through, that has been the most trending question when they book a call with me. Hey Q, should I change my investment strategy or portfolio building strategy to incorporate this so-called new proposed CGT discount? Because let me quote you what the reform is saying at the moment. It's saying from July 2027 onwards, properties purchased after this date only will receive a 25% discount. However, if anyone bought before that date, keeps the 50% treatment when they eventually sell. So right now, this locking in, which is kind of trending at the moment because of this new bloody proposed policy change, a lot of clients like Aaron, who's kind of feeling FOMO, he thought to himself, if he waited, he would probably permanently lose access to better tax treatment. And this is what he nearly did that we stopped him from doing. He nearly overpaid $680,000 for an Adelaide townhouse worth closer to $610,000. And I'm telling you right now, because of this CGT supposed discount reform, a lot of so-called property spookers buyers agents, and even real estate agents are using that to put pressure on noob investors to commit now. Oh, you don't buy now, next year, next minute, you won't get the 50% discount. You're gonna lose the discount. Buy now, buy now, buy now. And I'm telling you guys right now, this is only being floated in the mobs in Canberra. It's not policy yet. And this is where I come in to cut the crap, to reflect what's happening in the market, to show you how fear is compressing clients like Aaron. So what we did, we paired him up with an independent financial advisor, an independent accountant, and also we found him an independent buyer's agent who isn't as spooky as the others that you've seen. And what we did was we slowed him down. Instead of him getting spooked by a more expensive property at 680k, we helped him, well, not me, but, independent help, has found him a $612,000 property, and then we got him a loan of $550,000. The repayment is much less, and the projected rent is similar to the 680k property. The rent is proposed to be $570 a week. Now, for Aaron over here, the strategy isn't trying to lock in the tax rules to win. And the reason he won was because he didn't let hypothetical reforms inflate his purchase price. And guys who are watching this, that's the difference between independent advice, independent bird's eye view, versus Aaron, who went to a one-stop shop where the broker, the agent, the buyer's agent, the solicitor, the whole bloody drama of the entourage of that mob who was trying to sell him this inflated property, they all had a conflict of interest. Whilst for us, what we do best is we separate data and drama. Now, this is where I'll segment into the fourth part of the video. Who actually benefits from the current system? Let's zoom out with numbers. If you look at CoreLogic, or known as Cotality right now, the reported national dwelling values rose roughly 8 to 9% through 2025. According to ABS, Australian Bureau of Statistics wage growth, around 3 or 4% growth. And as you can see from this data, property has compounded faster than wages. And at the end of the day, you wonder to yourself, who realizes capital gains more? The people that realize capital gains more, they're primarily high-income householders with leverage, not renters. They're not people who are 25 years old saving like $200 a week. So yes, you can kind of say the system favors asset holders. It doesn't protect renters or people who are trying to get into the market. But guys, here's the nuance. Even if you reduce the discount, I'm telling you right now, all those bloody renters or whingers or trying to get into the property market complain, oh, I can't afford property because all these rich people are buying all the properties and all these discounts are giving them incentive to buy more. I'm telling you guys, even if they change the discount, here's the reality slap, guys. It does not create deposits for you. It does not fix the supply constraint at the moment. And it does not increase your bloody borrowing power. All it does is that it changes exit tax treatment. And that's basically it. And this is where in the fifth part of the video, I'll talk about, will prices fall if this was introduced? Let's be clinical, guys. Right now, you could Google this up. If you look at treasury style modeling, they suggest that in their department, this will impact only a 1 to 4% range in terms of a price discount. So if you have property prices at here and there was a 1 to 4% drop, that's not a bloody crash, guys. Prices are not going to fall by $300,000 or $400,000 so that you can afford it. That is just a small peak squeak volatility. Because I'm telling you right now, guys, the vacancy rates nationally is still hovering from 1 to 1.3% as per SQM. And again, guys, supply remains constrained. And for those of you guys who are planning to do knockdowns and rebuilds, you know right now, right? Construction costs remain very elevated. Like, to give you an example, my toilet has plumbing issues. For me to call a plumber to my house, it will cost me $300 just for him to come in to have a look. For a plumber to come in to see my toilet problem, it will cost me $300. And people are complaining, oh, Q, I have to pay money to speak to you for that 60-minute call. Dude, at least I spent 60 minutes with you. That plumber came in for like 10, 15 minutes. Done. I had to pay $300. And on top of that, for him to bloody fix the thing, another $500. And that plumber is fixing a thing that will help me poop. Whilst for me, when you spend 60 minutes with me, I help you build a property portfolio to help you end the generational poverty in your family and build property wealth. But again, guys, that's just a bit of a rant because I can't be stuck. If you can't afford it, piss off. I don't want to talk to you anyway. So again, guys, back to this video. Sorry for the rant. Having a pretty rough day today because a lot of people DM me and wasting my time. But if we look at the reform, unless this proposed reform triggers mass investor selling, or kills investor demand entirely, or drastically increases supply, the impact is likely modest. So right now, let's lay out the behavioral economics. Let me explain it more in detail. In this sixth part of this video, we're going to look at the CGT lock-in effect that nobody models properly. For example, if you increase tax on sale, what happens next? You got to ask yourself, hey, what happens next? Well, selling becomes less attractive. And if you're a rational investor, which I think if you're watching this video, that's why you are, rational investors will hold longer. They will refinance. They will leverage the equity to go buy more properties, or they will choose to pass assets down. And then next minute, what happens? Turnover drops. And with lower turnover, sorry, those selling agents out there, your listings will also drop. And then what does that mean, guys? It will keep prices kind of sticky. It doesn't change the supply. By introducing this new tax, by introducing this new discount, the supply is not fixed. People will forever probably hold on to it and not offer it to the market, which means supply gets smashed again. Because at the end of the day, guys, I talk about human nature. 人性. This is the Chinese philosophy of human nature. I've worked for the last 15 years. I've seen the worst side when it comes to humans and money, mixing them together and seeing the worst part of human nature. When policy changes incentives change human behavior. And at the end of the day, guys, human behavior moves markets. It's not press conference. It's not those doom and gloom media articles. And to reflect client sentiment right now, like this week, I had over about 80 calls. Multiple clients have said to me, oh, Q, we're scared to buy because of this reform. And then I asked them, are you buying to flip in 2 years? Or are you buying long-term quality assets to hold? Because right now, guys, I've been totally honest with you. If your current strategy right now depends entirely on a tax discount that is decades away, I'm telling you, you're speculating. And speculation should scare you, not the reform. Like right now, if you're buying to hold and keep, whatever the changes to the discount doesn't really matter. But of course, if you're planning to buy, renovate, and flip, even though the bloody margins are really low at the moment, yes, this change, if possibly introduced, will smash your profits. And I tell most of my existing clients, also new clients that are calling me at the moment, you got to ask yourself right now, guys, is this even confirmed? Did they draft the legislation? Is there a confirmed implementation date? Right now, if you look at the pollies in Canberra and you look at their websites, there's no detailed bills. It's just speculative talks. And I'm telling you right now, guys, most rumors, they never become law. So if you watch thus far, here's the uncomfortable truth. At the moment, this is all speculative talk. Yes, I know it's being reviewed, and yes, I know it could possibly change. But this is what history says to me. Number one, it likely won't be retrospective. Number two, it likely won't be too radical. Maybe if they do introduce it, it'll be like, oh, on your fourth or fifth property. And at the end of the day, for those doomsayers, oh, the property's gonna crash. No, nothing's gonna crash the property market. Because you know what? Immigration is coming hot. And right now, let me take a stab at the polls in Canberra, right? Because for you guys, if you're watching this video, I want to remind you, the public tends to treat leadership like a reality TV show, like a reality elimination round. If you guys overstep, if you pee off the investors, I'm telling you right now, you'll be off the island. Because this is the reality, guys. Housing isn't some abstract spreadsheet. It is currently the largest asset class in Australia. And I'm telling you right now, don't pee off the investors. Don't pee off the landlords. Because at the end of the day, we hold the power. So yeah, guys, if you want to speak to someone that thinks like a data scientist and not like a headline reader and say you want more clarity because you found this video very useful, I suggest you book a 15-minute strategy call with us, which is a triage call. Or if you want a longer session with us, a 60-minute strategy deep dive call. Or if you want the 90-minute Platinum Portfolio Accelerator call. Again, it's a round table of experts. You get a deep dive with me, 60 minutes. And also you get to speak to our independent financial advisor and possibly our independent accountant. And if you want, we can refer you our independent buyer's agents. All of them will do real modeling based on your situation and will get your data to tailorize a holistic plan to help you build that property portfolio so you can end the generational poverty curse in your family and start building generational wealth. But hey, if you're not ready, just hit the like button, hit the follow button for more videos like this, and most importantly, smash the share button because knowledge is power and I would love for you to share that power. And most importantly, if you watch this end of this video, you must be massive fans or you must like my videos a lot. I have my book Keep Calm and Mortgage On that is on Amazon. It's Amazon's bestseller in terms of finance education. I've also recently released my new book, which is a children's book, The 6 Secret Money Hacks for Kids. Again, this book is based on a very viral video that went over 1 million views on social media that teaches you the real money hacks to teach your children right now before it's too late. So again, guys, thank you for watching this video. Thank you for all the fans that are supporting this channel. I hope you have a lovely week ahead. And in the next few days, I'll probably drop another video. And again, thank you for watching another episode of That Property Roast.